Hello from Western New York. And at the moment, we are looking at my garden bed. Now, if you've seen my garden bed before, you might notice something a bit different. No, I didn't add anything new. I didn't add any more tomato plants. I didn't add any more peppers. And I certainly didn't add any more geraniums. That being said, there is one less squash plant in here. Mainly because I thought it was too small. And I didn't have the room. Because you're going to notice something. Squash plant here, squash plant here, squash plant here, squash plant there. Another one there, another one there, another one there, another one there, another one there. One over there, one over there, one over there, one over there, and another over there. But, of course, as you see in my previous videos, here's what I saw. A few here, and a couple there. Excuse me. That should tell you something. Because now they're all spaced out. You know, basically, I put on my, what I did was, and you might wonder, okay, why did he space out his squash? Well, let's put it this way. Imagine if you and your siblings were all sharing the same room, and that room was, let's just say it's 20 feet by 20 feet. Eventually, there's not going to be enough room for you to have your own space. And trust me, I lived that experience. Mommy! He's stealing my shirt! Dad! He's stealing my toys! Mommy! Yeah. Well, in this case, it's more like, there's shade. It's more like, Gardner, there's shade. Like, Gardner, they're shading me out. Gardner, he's stealing my nitrogen. Gardner, they're stealing my potassium. You know. So, basically, I mean, I suppose if they were smaller, I could have just clipped off a few. You know, clipped off the weaker ones, let the stronger one grow. But I didn't. So, what I did was I got my gardening trowel, put on my gloves, and I very carefully, a couple inches away from each of the main clusters, and carefully pulled out the smaller ones. And I spaced them out. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 squash plants. And that's more than enough. Okay, maybe I missed one or two, but still. I got enough squash plants. I don't need to worry about making any purchases of squash for, you know. And I'll be honest, not all of them are going to make it. I mean, there's probably one or two that are going to die. But this, it will at least give them a fighting chance. They're not being crowded out. They're not being crowded by their siblings as much, for one. 2, the smaller ones now have room to grow and try to produce fruit. I also dug up a couple of weeds, and mainly dandelion. Add them on top so that they can break down and be mulch. You know, basically I got some more squash. I mean, not everyone here is going to do that sort of thing, because, you know, not everyone likes squash that much. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like squash all that much myself, but you know, you fry it up, it's pretty tasty. I'll admit to that. But anyways, like I said, I gave them their space, you know, roughly maybe a foot apart at the closest, you know. That way they'll have the room to stretch, and we'll see what happens, you know. I mean, it took me maybe, well, I didn't record it, so it took me maybe 15-20 minutes, and luckily for me, the soil is, like I said, mainly it's fairly loose, especially in this area that I put where the squash was growing, and towards the areas that I put them at. So it wasn't too difficult for me to just dig them a new hole. You know, dig up a few of the weaker plants and transplant them. So basically, it's like we're gonna wait a couple of weeks, and then after I was done transplanting them, I came out here with my water containers, and basically I gotta put in about 10 gallons worth of water all around. You know, 2.5 there, 2.5 here, 2.5 here, 2.5 here. You know, that way they got some water, something to drink. That way it'll help them grow, and at the same time get the rest of the plant got the rest of the plants watered, which should help them out because it hasn't been doing much raining lately. You know, you got some people that are complaining about drought, about having too much water, you know, and flooding and all that sort of stuff. And here we haven't seen a good rain in at least a couple of weeks. You know, that would have been, you know, a good rain would be nice to have. But I'm not going to complain too much, because it could always be worse. I could have too much rain. But it didn't any good. No. So, like I said, moved around some of my squash, you know, so that way they got their room to grow. I mean, and like I said, I moved the smaller ones because, one, the bigger guys were crowding them, or shading them, crowding them out, and that sort of stuff. And of course, the little ones are stealing the bigger ones, not the items that they needed. So it's a bit of a win-win. I mean, if this works, I'll have hopefully at least 6 good plants. Maybe a few more. That'll give me and my mom and my aunt and her boyfriend plenty of squash to last us rest of the year anyways. Mind you, these were grown from seed, and that was, these were, you know, it was like a few weeks ago, really, that I felt that I decided to, well, basically there was like 3 squash pods that I broke open, scattered the seeds, and then I taken a scythe, you know, hacked down the weeds that were all around, you know, and then got in the lawnmower, mowed it all up, you know, just mulched it, really. And then I poured in easily 400 pounds worth of potting soil, garden soil, compost, dehydrated manure, cow manure, and then vermiculite and perlite stuff. So, I mean, the squash it's doing real good, you know, considering. I mean, granted, well, let's see what they look like in a couple more weeks. I mean, I'm kind of hoping to get at least a few squash out of this. Okay. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to get any, considering that started this at the beginning of July, really. So it's like, is it or isn't it going to work? Well, I'll find out. You'll find out. And depending on how things go, I'll at least show me and if I get any squash, I'll show me harvesting them. And well, now we'll see what happens. Of course, got a few other things going on. Like we got these peppers growing. You know, these ones are the hot ones. And well, we're gonna see what happens. I mean, they're growing. Got some good size on a few of them. Of course, I got some good size on the tomatoes. Although wait. Well, and well. This is supposed to be the blue tomato. I think it looks right. Hope it is. That's actually not bad. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. I think I may make some exceptions, you know. I mean, there was another one, but I think some bird took it. Now, I'm not quite sure about some of these peppers, you know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of peppers, okay? So I am partly reluctant to pick any of them. Of course, another good reason is I'm not sure if they're ripe yet. I mean, although this one looks like it might be ripe. Same with this one. Although this one here looks like some bug got a hold of it. Guess we'll just see what happens, you know. It's pretty good. And that was the blueberry tomato. That's pretty good. You know, it's real small. Just pop in your mouth, you know. Much like a blueberry. I mean, okay, don't taste like a blueberry. It tastes like a tomato. Okay? It's a tomato. But, like I said, it was tasty. And normally, I don't like tomatoes. Not a real fan of them. But it was okay. I could probably see myself eating a couple more of those while I'm out here. Well, this is Western New York. Well, this is my vegetable bed. You know, like I said, it's got geraniums, it's got hot peppers, it's got sweet peppers, it's got tomatoes, and of course, the squash. Well, this is Western New York. I hope you like this. Subscribe if you like this. Post comments, hit the like button, all that other good stuff. Okay, goodbye.